Well, do you want to talk about the Astro World thing?
So here's the thing about that. I don't know who Travis Scott is.
I didn't either, but I learned when I saw the story. He's a really bad rapper. Like, the music is like, granted, the only experience I have with his music is watching clips of him still singing as people are dying in his crowd, but it is bad. It's so auto-tuned.
Oh, come on, you're getting the worst of Travis Scott. Maybe this guy's a real musician.
No, seems like a piece of shit.
I mean, those people, for what I hear, people are dying to watch him play.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. At least nine people have died. A 9-year-old kid died, I think, yesterday or today. Zach was telling me before the show, which, like, I was wondering, like, who the fuck brings a child to one of these concerts? And then I learned that Travis Scott has his own Fortnite skin and character. And so it's like, yeah, this guy was clearly marketed to children. There's no getting around that. But, like, the most disturbing thing from this whole Astro World shit.
Hey, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt.
Yeah.
PayPal says you have received $1 from Matthew Woodworth.
Resistance.
Woodworth always pays his debts.
I love it.
But anyway, there's this really fucked up video that we can't show it, obviously, but this guy, Travis Scott, is up on a cherry picker. You know how, artists will do, they get up there and it's like a surprising thing. I saw Coldplay in like 2007 and like they stopped the show and then they magically like started playing again like 10 feet in front of us, like in the middle of the group. Like they did all that. It was neat. But this guy's up on a cherry picker. There are huge crowds of people falling on each other, collapsing. A big reason for this is that they were sold out apparently. And he like tweeted like, "We're still letting the wild ones in." And there are videos of thousands of people storming past security, just running into the concert before it even started. First of all, any of those people could have guns. They could have anything. You don't allow a concert
Drugs.
after that's happened. There was a crowd collapse in that video where all these people are running in, and because it's in a straight line, for the most part, and you're just running into it, there's like a huge pile up and you could hear people like and then they get pulled out and they keep going. But the real fucked up shit was at the concert. It's already been going awry for many, many minutes. People have drawn attention to him and his guys, the cameramen. A woman and a guy got up on the stage and were trying to shut it down. They were crowd members like, "Hey, people are dying out there. Stop the show. Stop the show. People are dying." They didn't do it. They didn't care. 2 people from Travis's own kind of like posse or his team come out to him, say something to him in the middle of the show, ostensibly about how we should probably shut this down. And he says, "I want to feel the ground shake," as all this
That's my favorite line.
This stuff is happening. But there's a really upsetting video where it's like the aftermath of a crowd crush and people are still injured, very, very hurt. And 2 workers there are carrying out this guy who has both of his legs clearly like shattered.
Yikes.
Like he's dead. It's a dead body. They're carrying a dead body out, and this person's filming it and filming up at Travis Scott. And he's staring directly at the body being carried away at his show and singing through auto-tune going, "Yeah, yeah." Literally that. It's so fucked up and upsetting. And for them to come out afterward and be like, "Oh, we didn't even know." No, you fucking knew, bitch. You knew. All right. A million artists have shut down shows for way, way less than that. At the level of the Adele has shut down shows and been like, "There's someone in trouble right there." Do you think there was a mishmash of 200 people or 20 people being crushed at the Adele show? No, it was one person who fell and she shuts it down immediately. The guys from fucking Five for Fighting, the guys from the Foo Fighters, everyone does this. This guy watched it happen.
Tim McGraw threaten to kick a guy's ass once.
I'm sure it's like a norm for these
Stop
performers.
touching that woman. Get your hands off her.
But yeah,
come down and whoop your ass. And the whole crowd's like, "Yeah." and meanwhile, it's like, do you really want to be the guy who just randomly sexually assaulted a woman at the front row of a concert, and now Tim McGraw just threatened you to whip your ass in front of 15,000 good old boys who are all his fans, who are wearing the same gang uniform those guys from the Yellowstone wear. They're all dressed in that
Tim
same
McGraw seems like a pretty good guy based on that. This guy Travis Scott seems like an absolute garbage piece of shit.
Tim McGraw was at a concert once. I want to say maybe Faith Hill was there. Faith Hill's his wife. If you don't know, they're both very big country music artists. They were two of the biggest, like in their prime in the '90s, and they're married. And but I remember he had one of those stages where there's the, you know what a stage looks like, but there's that pier that kind of comes out into the crowd in some instances, so they can kind of walk out and be completely surrounded by the crowd. And he was kind of leaned down or something, and a woman from the crowd, I don't remember what she did to him. She grabbed him in a sexual way, though. She groped him. I think that's accurate. And he slapped the shit out of her. It was beautiful. It was like, Tim McGraw slap a bitch. He's not playing any games.
You can we cannot watch this on the show, but you guys, while I'm talking about it, you can watch it briefly for the next 22 seconds with volume. It's called Travis Scott Sings as he watches security carry away one of his fans' lifeless body. It's got 53,000 views. So watch this with the sound and confirm for me and apparently everybody else on the internet other than his hardcore fans that he is absolutely looking at this guy as he's dead, dying, being carried off, singing into the mic.
He is. When you first described that, I pictured him, I don't know why, like 400 feet in the air. And it's like, well, you don't know like what he could see and what he couldn't. That dude is like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like he is not unable to see that dead body.
He's
that
watching
dead body. He's
you guys
watching
know what
the
people are
dead
saying,
body.
right?
What?
So I think you both are like, damn, this Travis Scott guy, real piece of shit. The internet has taken a different view of this.
Go on.
There's something fishy here. This Travis Scott guy is into demonic forces. He was doing a ritual. There are a lot. Look at the comments of that video right there. There are a lot of people who believe that Travis Scott.
I read all about that. That was like taking that was like staring into the abyss and feeling the abyss staring back into me. Where like it wasn't enough to be like, yeah, this guy's an absolute garbage person who watched people die, who encouraged people to break in and make this more dangerous for people who bought tickets. But people going like, there were 8 flames on the stage and 8 people died. There are 9 now. Shut up. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
But it was creepy.
And the tunnel was meant to make people feel like they were in hell. And it said, see you on the other side. He clearly meant to say, see you on the other side, dead person. And it's like, no, that you don't need to go a million miles just to achieve your point. I don't think he's like worshiping the devil.
I prefer it if he is. I think what I wonder is like,
it'd be funny if it
what's
came
going
out
to happen to him. I wonder how culpable he is for all of this. I'm imagining
just a little background thing for you, Kyle, before you go into it. He also got in trouble for encouraging a fan to jump off of a really high bit of scaffolding in a 2017 show, screaming for him to do it. The guy did it. He's paralyzed. He's encouraged people to rage. He one of his things is like, I want wild people there. I want them like, and it's not like moshing like at a metal concert where like someone falls and like some guy in a Harley Davidson jacket goes like, get that lady up. Like, no, it's like people trying to harm each other, it seems like, in some of these raging incidents.
Well, you know what? I would avoid those concerts as a intelligent human being the same way I avoid a lot of dangerous scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure how I feel about people who chose to do an extreme activity.
This leads to my next topic.
Yeah. I mean, if anything ever happens to Woody, we're all going to feel bad. But it's like we're going to look at each other and shrug and be like, I mean, how many times did we talk about this?
Do you think that I think that Travis Scott is in himself culpable for a lot of this because of what he curated, what he encouraged, telling thousands of people to break in, like as if that's not dangerous enough, like just to be edgy, just to be wild. So like, yeah, he clearly is culpable for this. He immediately refunded all 50,000 people who paid for it because he knows that's going to be a thing. Like, what venues are going to let this guy play?
Oh, I would want him so bad. I would definitely want him at my venue. If it's insured, who fucking cares? Yeah. Because
what are the insurance rates going to be for a guy who had 9 people die at a show?
I mean, get a quote. Let's find out because I bet it's going to be fucking sold out. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, let's fucking find out. Do we need to like? I mean, I get it's merch involved. Do we need to take another percentage of that? Like, but we can get a Travis Scott concert. I'd have a Travis Scott concert. Look, if you go, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're getting into when you
don't
go there.
Really, because like apparently he appeals to like people in their teens, early 20s. they buy a ticket, and then thousands of people rush in. It's overcrowded. Crowd management's horrible. There's this one video of this black guy who was at the show, and he's like telling his experience, and he's like, I don't think he's acting. He seems legit torn up about it. He's like, I was down there, and I don't want to exaggerate, but it felt like I was in hell. Like you're moving, there's a writhing mass of bodies. You can't lift your arms, you can't move. Like you're like pushing out so you can get your lungs to expand enough. You're breathing the hot air of other people's exhales, and meanwhile people are screaming and no one's stopping. Like there's the clip where all those people are fucking knocked down, and then everybody's like, stop this show, and Travis Scott's like, all right, next song is like, are you kidding me, dude?
Now we're gonna do a song I call Yeah.
Yeah, I call it Yeah. Bring out that guy and marionette him around for me. I get off to dead people. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. A 9-year-old died.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know. The tweet's interesting too. It seems like I don't know. It seems like it should be on the security, right? It seems like it was their job to make sure that like people didn't come in. I mean, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. I think he's more likely to be in trouble in some sort of civil suit than he is to be charged with something.
Sure. Yeah, that
because he's culpable, but I don't know if he's guilty of anything. He's culpable of a lot. I don't know if he's guilty of anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. I mean, he's guilty in a moral sense of intentionally creating a situation in which people are likely to be harmed.
What was that word?
That? What?
The M one.
I don't know.
Oh.
Moral?
Yeah,
what?
Moral. Oh,
like a mural?
Yeah, you know, like ethics.
Like a mural?
You know how ethics work, you fucking psychopath.
No, he's in trouble. He's in trouble there one way or the other. Yeah. And I can't believe he didn't stop it. It almost seems like he gets off on seeing people get fucked up. Give him the benefit of the doubt, though. It's not like he's got an EKG machine up there in that cherry picker. He didn't know the guy was dead. And for all he knows, the guy's unconscious or something. They weren't like, he's dead.
He did give a quote. Let me try and find it, where he said that he likes seeing blood at his shows.
All right. I mean, I don't like that tweet.
It's hard to defend that one in the context
that's what you
of
call
this conversation.
That's what you call a bad tweet.
What is it? Is it this one? Yeah. He said he talks about his desire to see bodies/blood when he's performing, but not his, obviously. So someone else.
He never crowd surfs.
He seems like a fucking ghoul. Oh no, he did crowd surf. He crowd surfed. You know when he did stop a show? He stopped a show when he was crowd surfing and he lost one of his shoes, and he told the crowd to beat up the guy who had his shoe. He stopped the entire show then for the shoe, but not for this. So this guy is garbage. He's a piece of shit.
He pulled his shoe off.
Yeah, or they didn't. It's fucking crowd surfing. You don't know what.
I bet I guarantee.
I bet someone did pull his shoe off.
Because I was watching. I don't want to shift topics.
Sick people on them.
Yeah, it's fucking wild. 9 people you say are dead now. Do we?
Yeah.
You don't know the ages roughly. Were there any children? Or
it was people? Yeah. The youngest was 9 to 27. I think were the ages at last count. And like watching the videos, it seems remarkable that only 9 people died.
Did you hear
I want to know
where
the 9-year-old's parent
saving
is.
his fiance?
Oh. Yeah, I did hear about that. That's horrible.
Yeah, but it's also literal hero shit. Like
I bet she wanted to go to the show.
She's a little beaten and bruised up, but I guess he was successful in that he saved her.
Oh, that's so sad.
Well, good for her.
I would be like, you wanted to come to this fucking retarded show, and we're both dying.
It depends how well I know her. I may use her as a boogie board by the end of my escape.
Those metal bars at the front of the concert thing, like you know how usually they pan across those with a camera and everybody's going, whoa, yeah, we're having a great time. Every single person is like, like they can't breathe. No, it's like a slatted iron thing, and it's the metal comes up to about like, you know, if you're one of our heights, probably about your sternum, but for a woman that's very high.
So you could jump it in theory.
but not with that amount of pressure. Like they showed the bouncers trying to pull one guy out, two huge bouncers trying to pull one dude out from the very front. And it was like he was so pinched, it took them 5 minutes to get this one dude out.
Fuck.
And they're like probably breaking his shins as they're pulling him over the thing because of the amount of pressure being exerted.
First, Jesus.
No, I'm saying like by the time they pulled him up that far and his shins are in front of that top bar, it's getting
Oh
hammered.
man.
Shout out Chris Pratt, friend of the show.
Yeah, absolutely, always.
Yeah.
I think it's entertainers who are like in the music industry. I think that's where the real nasty motherfuckers are.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think that well, I mean, we just saw the P Diddy stuff, but I think it's lots of people in hip hop.
Rock and roll.
Every one of those rock bands back when rock existed, like there is no rock now. I don't think rock and roll really is a thing anymore. Not by my definition or most people's. But like the OGs of rock, like everybody,
Van Halen. I don't know.
all of those people were with underage girls. Some of them wrote books
Robert
about
Plant.
it.
All
Of those people, yeah. I don't want to throw him under the bus. Lots of
I feel like
those
some people
I
wrote
would feel
songs
like.
about
They
it.
just they did. They had ready access to these really young fans, and I don't know. I don't think we were IDing like we do today back then for some reason.
Probably
I blame the parents
Well, you know, you need strong parents,
and also
in
the
home.
pedophiles and also
And
the
pedophiles.
and the,
You know, this whole
the
thing
number
doesn't get
one, the
started.
parents. Look, you know,
So true.
You know, who sent them, paid their way to the pedophile concert.
These
Fuck parents.
pedophiles are like the scorpion in the Scorpion and the Frog
Thank you,
parable.
thank you, Taylor.
You knew what I was before you saw me put on a fucking mustache and wig.
Trump should have used that defense with sexual assault. Like you know, he does.
Oh,
that
I'm sorry.
fake
Do you
story.
guys not like pussy? I was under the impression we all liked it. What are you, a gay guy?
Like that's like he'd take that angle of it. They'd be like,
Yeah,
oh, no, I like pussy.
And I think that like a lot of the good girl like celebrities are way more catty than they seem. I bet Taylor Swift's an awful person. I bet she's like shitting on other lady performers. Although I really do think that one Taylor Swift hate subreddit is like getting into my head. The Travis and Taylor subreddit. It's recommended to me
What are you
continuously.
doing?
Dude,
I never go to it.
What
I'm
are you
scrolling.
doing online?
I'm
I won't
scrolling.
judge you. It happens to me too. I'm seeing all this Travis and Taylor content. I'm not even subscribed to the Dr. Disrespect subreddit, and I never miss a post at this point because Reddit's figured out that I can't not click on this stuff.
I'm gonna click
And-
it.
But the Travis and Taylor stuff, it seems petty to me.
Some
They
does.
found her sing poorly one time from like 9 years ago, and or like I guess there's a recording from high school where she says she was unpopular and bullied, but she kind of looked like everyone was kissing her ass in this video.
I think she had talked about being unpopular later in life, and like she'd written songs like, "Oh, this is inspired by how horrible I was treated in high school." And then they show this clip of her in high school as a country music star. By the way, she's Taylor Swift. She was Taylor Swift in high school, and everybody's just like, you know, there's a celebrity at our school who brought a fucking camera crew. It's a party for Taylor.
Dude,
Her
there are
father was
rappers
an
who are
important
like,
person in Nashville, so like she really sort of Taylor Swift. She had a leg up to get her career started, but
Yeah.
I think she's the most successful music artist the planet's had so far. She spent more weeks at like the Billboard #1 than anybody else ever has.
Yeah, I don't know the metrics too well. It's one of
It's
those things
wild.
I feel like where they're like, yeah, but this person sold this many albums or this person made this much gross money. It's I don't know. She seems to be one of the hottest tickets in the world right now, and I see those sold out concerts, and it's absurd.
I see that
boring.
they're acting like no one really likes her on that Travis and Taylor subreddit. And then I saw her at Wembley Stadium and they were cheering for her so much. It like registered on the Richter scale. She's like, oh my God, the ground is shaking. Let's not pretend she's not popular right now.
No one's
Discredit
pretending that.
Travis and Trailer pretends that it's all Americans flying over, that they're the only people who want to see it.
Yeah, you'll see some dumb posts on there. I saw one where like she's meeting like a sick, dying fan or something back, and it seemingly
What a
backstage. But she's wearing her costume. You know, she does like a bunch of costume changes. It's basically like a single piece bathing suit covered with sequins and tassels and shit. And they're like, she couldn't put on anything more appropriate before she took a picture with a dying fan. I'm like, what are you talking about? I would want her in her fucking cool ass outfit that probably cost $8,000. Like they could be petty and shitty. I more zone in on like when they catch her lip syncing at like every performance. And also she seems to get, to be fair, we're all human beings, you know, it could be humid where she is, but she's like blowing these big snot boogers into her hand and sort of trying to like drip flick them away.
Wow, casting a lot of first stones here, man. You've never had to blow your nose, and there's nothing.
I wish
handy.
she'd commit though and do a snot rocket. She's like, full on, just like gets up. It's like some.
I was with Taylor. Now I'm back with Kyle.
Blows it right in their face. Like that would be sick if she had a. You know, if she's gonna need to do that every night. Like have that be a punctuation
Travis
mark
could
to one
teach
of
her
her
that.
songs.
As a pro football player, I bet he can.
Yeah,
blow
one of their
snot
theories
rocket.
is that their whole relationship is fake, and I also see people who think that she's a trans woman, and
that's crazy.
You know, I see all that, and I know that that's silly goofiness. But then again, when I liked Dave Grohl calling her out the other day. You know, Dave Grohl's like, "We're gonna be here playing live for you," unlike some people. Yeah, hey, I don't want to piss off the Swifties or anything, but boop, boop, this is on.
He said that he was doing the Errors tour, unlike the Eras tour, which is what hers is called, ERAS. And he's like, this one will be live. Now, I didn't realize that I guess the Swifties attacked his kid. Not Taylor, but her fans attacked his kid.
Wow.
So he attacked Taylor, and I don't have enough details to figure out who's
I do. So Dave Grohl's daughter went after. Tell me about the Silmarillion for the 15th time.
I've never gone deep on the Silmarillion, and you know it.
Tell me what size boot Frodo would have worn in modern times, or whatever nonsense you're into. All right, so Dave Grohl's daughter criticized Taylor Swift's private jet use, and so that was the crux of the whole nonsense celebrity girl issue. But I just enjoy that subreddit, and it makes me. I like seeing that nobody's perfect. I guess I enjoyed seeing her blow those snot rockets, and then they'll show an angle that shows that she just has the flattest ass of all time, and it's just like, I got a better ass than you. Like, what do you?
This is so petty.
I can't throw stones there. My ass
the-
is way too flat. I try.
I wonder where she does stack up though, because there's so many more artists and ways to consume stuff, like digital
Talent-wise?
downloads. Yeah. And so I wonder where she stacks up against Michael Jackson, the Beatles, Garth Brooks.
I don't think
I do
she
too.
compares.
It's really hard to measure across
Elvis.
pre-internet, right? Like when Michael Jackson did, all you could do is buy his album. That's how you knew how popular he was. But no one buys albums anymore. They stream. So what do you do? Listen to her plays versus Jackson's plays? I don't know how to compare.
Well, I'm just like talent wise, like I think Michael Jackson's like a generational fucking talent.
I thought we were talking about popularity.
Michael Jackson was so talented, he got away with it. Okay, like you've got. There's your answer right now. I promise you, Taylor. I was gonna say if Taylor Swift started banging 17-year-olds, but she already did that when she was 22.
Hey, that kid was cute.
But both of them. She had two 17-year-old boyfriends.
I only knew about one.
She liked them. Yeah. She'd start dressing just like
wonder what
Travis
state
and Taylor's
it was.
subreddit, man. It really poisoned my heart against this one.
Dude, these are the biggest fucking losers. Like there's so many people,
Taylor,
on here, and they'll be like, they're posting like individual screenshots of Taylor Swift fans being mean and being like, "This is why we can't support this horrible woman," and it's like, you're a bitch and a loser. You know, and
Kyle's got 40 accounts that he uses.
There's like huge posts on here that are like, I'm a French Gen Z girl, and I just wanted to let everyone know that Taylor Swift isn't even famous in France. It's like, bitch, you're French posting about Taylor Swift in a niche subreddit about her. You fucking idiot. Like,
you know,
I've never been more indifferent to someone than I am to Taylor Swift. I can't name a song of hers. I guarantee I've heard many because I live in the world, but like,
Shake It Off.
She seems so.
I don't know that
song.
She's like her.
I mean,
it's just her PR.
I know the song that was in that Call of Duty montage from HQ Fighter back in the day called the Swiftage. And let me tell you what really pissed me off. I went on there the other day, last week. I wanted to watch the Swiftage again. It's been 15 years. So what? I want to see some Taylor Swift poppy music with some what is now subpar Call of Duty gameplay. And they had claimed the audio on the man's video. God damn it. It was that song. You were 13 when I first saw you. The playback starts and the starts, and here we go. I got to be careful. I could sing better than that.
I hate when they do that.
They
Some of
copyright
the
strike
best
us. We sing better.
They
I know that
they
one.
take and they pull the after the license runs out after a year. Like Yeti has one, 1,000 miles or something like that. I forget, and they pulled it after a year. Nike has some of the best one, like AC/DC, Awake with the alarm clock. Oh man, so many good ones.
Yeah, I see from that chart Zach threw up. It's pretty comparable. You know,
I couldn't see a date on it.
But I mean, if we all know that if there were a talent show and Taylor Swift and Michael Jackson were competing in front of a group of aliens who appreciated our culture despite their alien nature, but had no knowledge of the two individuals, Michael Jackson would run away with the motherfucker because he would be moonwalking up there and they would think he was a ghoul or a goblin. They'd be like, he looks like us. Holy shit. This is the lost star child.
I'm with you, Kyle. Michael Jackson might be better at singing and dancing.
And
haven't gone head to head on fucking children yet. They both compete in this arena.
Yeah, competent.
But we don't know who's better.
Competent. Yeah.
You can't be spending any more time here, guys. This is truly staring into the abyss.
I don't go there, Taylor. You misunderstand. See, when you go there and start,
but if your browsing patterns are so embarrassing that it's directing you here.
See, you say that, but Reddit's the algorithm.
It's not our fault.
Reddit's probably the fourth biggest site on the goddamn internet, and it's got the stupidest, worst algorithm in existence. It thinks I'm Indian, and I care about their politics. I get more Modi shit. I hear about every Bangladeshi rape that happens. And let me tell you, Taylor.
That on me.
And more to come. It's ridiculous. And I'm like, how is this? And I'll go to the Reddit and I'll mute it and block it. And the next day, here we go. Bangladeshi fucking gang rape. 17 victims. The accuser was blinded with acid. All charges dropped.
Jeez.
Justice in India. It's like, it's always something horrific too. Never hear any good stories. I know we've got no Indian fans, so I can say this. Terrible country. Like, what are y'all doing over there? What are y'all doing over there?
I wouldn't want to go. If you said, hey, you can go to India free.
It's high on my list.
I wouldn't go for free.
I wouldn't go to India. There's so many better countries I want to visit.
I don't want to go to the good countries.
And
you want to go to the bad countries.
Yeah.
If Woody doesn't get malaria or something, he's not happy.
Here's what I like. I want a country that's very different than mine, right? So like Japan is cool. It's a good country, but it's very different. But England, Australia, I don't feel like I'd go there and be like culturally blown away. Like this is the same culture I come from. But India, Brazil, Nicaragua, these are places different than here. That's where I want to go.
Can I tell you my vacation strategy, or at least one I've envisioned? I haven't employed it.
For India,
but for anywhere that you want to go globally, that's a little anywhere you want to go globally that's a little bit out of the way. I have this theory, and I've checked it out, and it works. That whenever some bad shit is happening in an area, all the prices go down for like rental rooms, Airbnb, stuff like that. Now Airbnb's become a joke, so I don't even know what site you'd use these days to not have. The room will be $200 a night, and then there'll be $800 worth of fees. Like I don't know how you avoid that. But back before that was the thing, whenever like the North Koreans would start lobbing missiles over mainland Japan, if you looked at Seoul, if you look at South Korean, vacation spots, or Japanese, especially like if it went over like that northern island or whatever, go to the northern island and look for a place to rent. Nobody's wanting to go there because a missile fell in the ocean 50 nautical miles away yesterday. Say that, then you end up watching some Roman Polanski movies, and you're on here like, that Roman Polanski, he's a smart guy. He knows what he's up to. Yeah, he's a pedophile. He's a pedophile. He's in hiding,
What movies has he made?
Did he make Lolita? Holy shit.
Lolita?
There's no way he made Lolita.
I don't even know that movie, but I know.
He was the one who got.
He made Rosemary's Baby is like his probably greatest. But Roman Polanski is considered a genius, one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. And he's also the guy who maped a 12-year-old in his like jacuzzi at his house. And then when they charged him, he fled to France, I believe, where he still resides in hiding from the charges. And he got a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Oscars maybe 15 years ago. And they all stood and clapped.
Yeah. They're ghouls. They're a despicable industry.
Okay.
I don't know his movies, but I've heard of.
Would you
Leave Israel
stand and
alone.
applaud?
Leave Israel alone. Like, you're just piling on. Oh,
What's he have to do with
you meant
Israel?
Hollywood. Oh, I thought you meant Jews.
Oh, is he Jewish?
No, Polanski. He's probably Polish.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. There's Polish Jews. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's not mutually exclusive.
Oh, actually, fair. Yeah. Probably is a you.
Roman Polanski. Little early life check. Yeah. His father was Jewish.
He was Sharon Tate's baby daddy too. You know, if you watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he's the short guy banging pretty face McBlonde girl. Whose name's escaping me.
He's pretty
Anywho.
Jewish. He like dodged the Holocaust. It turns out his parents were taken in raids and his mother died in Auschwitz. Both his parents were Jewish. He survived by hiding his Jewish identity and staying with a Catholic family where he adopted a false identity.
Yeah, good for him. He was in
Damn,
hiding.
this guy's old.
93?
1933, he was born.
91?
So he was like
92?
he
No
was
one knows.
91. Well, I do. 91 right here.
It's incalculable. No one knows that.
Yeah.
But no, I like to follow and see what actors are like in real life because it's going to shape if I watch their shit or not. Like, I don't care if you're a good actor. Like, you better be at least not like diametrically opposed to me. Like, there are people who are like, take all their money and use it for radicalized things, send it to terrorists and stuff like that. Like the writer of Spawn, Todd McFarlane, he gives all his money. I gave a ton of his money to Black Lives Matter, like millions of dollars, I think. And it's like this. He writes a lot of comics, graphic novels. I don't know, but I really hate that Brie Larson person. I really
Because
hate her.
she doesn't, you don't like her face.
No, because of what she says about why her movies fail. She blames it on men who don't, and dudes. And in one breath, they'll say, this movie isn't for you boys. And then we won't go watch it or buy it. And they're like, men are hating on our movie and making it fail. Toxic male Star Wars fans. That's the line out of Kathleen Kennedy over at Disney for why like their Star Wars shit is not doing well and why there's so much lashback. I know there's supposed to be a Ray movie.
This is why you need some gatekeeping. You need
There's
to keep
supposed to be a
people
Ray
out of
movie.
hobbies that they openly resent.
There's supposed to be a Ray movie coming, but I think they've quietly canceled it because who wants another Ray movie?
Oh, no. I don't. I saw they did a trio. Look, it's the third trio they've done. I feel like the contract we have is you'll start fresh with the next trio. It's not a trilogy is what I'm looking for. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like we need a fresh trilogy. We don't need to ride Ray any longer.
I didn't like Ray. I didn't like Huck or whatever the black guy's name was. They were so afraid.
That was his space name?
I don't know what his space name was.
It wasn't that at all.
It was Black Guy McStormtrooper, whatever
That's
his
not
name
a good
is.
space name. At
It's
all.
not?
Oh, looking
Huck? No.
Huckleberry.
That's not what I picture someone from space being called.
Luke. That makes more
Futuristic.
sense.
Finn. His name was Finn.
Finn.
It's funny you came up with Huck.
Yeah.
Huck Finn.
I see how that happened.
Okay, you know what? I like Finn as a name more. It's a little
Oh,
more
I hate
spacier.
fucking movies. I didn't.
Maybe
see
they
the
called
last
him by his last name.
Yeah, I didn't watch the last one. I have no. I know what happens. I know the Emperor comes back. It's a running joke on the internet. And then the Emperor came back somehow. It's like, what? You're not going to explain how like the end of the what is it, Return of the Jedi, like when Vader throws the Emperor down that tunnel, you know, like and kills him. They're like, let's forget about that. Let's bring that Emperor back. And it's like,
Dude.
Is he going to be like a big part of the plot? He's always going to be doing his thing. No. We'll bring him back like right at the end and then kill him.
I watched the movie knowing that everybody hated it. And my attitude going in was, everyone hates this movie, but gosh darn, everyone hates Star Wars and it's not as bad as they say it is. I'm going to enjoy it. And I was like, mission failed. That didn't happen at all like I hoped it would. Darn.
Despite your best efforts, you could not enjoy it.
Exactly. I went in with a very positive attitude. It didn't work.
No,
Yeah,
they've all been like that. They've all been like that. They just keep digging up the corpses, almost literally, of all those 70s
All
actors
nine.
that
Go
are all
ahead,
dead.
rewatch the very first Star Wars ever from the 70s. It's slow, it drags, it's stupid, gigantic plot holes. It's not as good a movie as people say it was, but
Yeah.
It was groundbreaking for its time, but what they're doing now is not groundbreaking for any time. It's just
it would be
bad.
groundbreaking for the 70s.
Oh, it would have blown your fucking socks off in the 70s if they saw the CGI that we have now.
You didn't like the
crazy
lesbian witches?
I didn't see
that's
it.
the new TV show. If we're going back to the movie, it's the pink Starfleet pink-haired lady Starfleet commander who's like, actually, men, we're going to warp jump right into the enemy. It's like, that was always an option. We could have been like kamikazing their $1 trillion Star Destroyers left and right this whole time. Yeah. So it's come on, just fucking shoot your.
She's
space
not a
laser.
good character. Is she too girl powery for you?
I'm not even going to get into it. I hate those movies. I don't watch them for a reason. Deadpool Wolverine was not a great movie. I thought it was okay. It's the best movie they made in a long time. I'm glad it made 1.2 billion because I like Ryan Reynolds and I like that he's making all that goddamn money. It's the #1 R-rated movie of all time. Him and what's the guy from It's Always Sunny? The Mac.
Yeah, they own a soccer team together.
They own that fucking soccer team together, and I think he's also got a mobile phone company like Mint Mobile. Like those
Ryan
guys
Reynolds is in the phone game.
I think Ryan Reynolds has a phone, has like a phone company called Mint Mobile, something like that. Yeah,
Man, you know what they should do when they're hanging out? Instead of watching soccer, Mac should teach Ryan how to be funny. That would be so productive. Because I mean, Ryan Reynolds must walk into the room and just be blown away by the aura that is McElhaney. Because Mac is funnier in a bad episode of Sunny than Ryan Reynolds has ever been.
I don't know why you dislike that man. I love him. I think he's great.
Do you like him?
I love him in interviews when he's talking about being in Blade 3 and how like shitty Wesley Snipes is. He's like, have you ever met Wesley Snipes? Yeah, me either. I know Blade though. Like, the guy stays in character the whole time, and he's a piece of shit. I like Ryan Reynolds. I liked Waiting back in the day when he's like, they're waiters that spit in people's food and live through the. I was never in the service industry, but I'm told by people who are in the service industry that's their movie. They would watch that and really identify with it. I've always liked Ryan Reynolds.
I don't hate Ryan Reynolds. I just find him to be a little one note. Like, I can predict what his performance will be like before I see the movie.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
I
not like The Rock. The Rock, you get.
I don't know. Pretty much like The Rock.
Yeah, he's equally as one note as The Rock.
No one is as one note as The Rock.
What about Ryan Reynolds? Ooh. What's one movie that Ryan Reynolds doesn't play Ryan Reynolds smirking at the camera?
The good-looking, snarky guy.
Yeah, what's one movie where he doesn't do that? You're a huge fan. One must come to the top of your head immediately. Name 3. You probably have a dozen.
I would need a list in front of me. I'm sure he's done some emotional work before and showed a little. The Proposal with Sandra Bullock, of course. Green Lantern. Those are some shitty ass movies.
I need to see.
Those are some shitty ass.
I bet he still plays good looking.
Let's go through
guy.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Was he snarky fourth wall guy?
Yes.
No, he didn't.
Yes.
See, to say fourth wall guy is just displaying your vast ignorance of the character.
I mean, it's fun to get your goat with it, but he's snarky. He's snarky Ryan Reynolds in that movie. Okay.
Dude, are we going to talk about Andrew Tate? This story is fascinating to me.
Is it? Because I'd never heard of this fucking guy until like 4 days ago. And I feel like I'm really glad I jumped on the bandwagon now because it's gotten funny quick.
Yeah.
But is it real? Is the most recent development the arrest real? Is it a real news story?
It's so new.
The human
it happened like 30 minutes before this podcast started. And here's what's up. So if people don't know who Andrew Tate is, he's this social media personality. He got huge on TikTok. Also big on YouTube and Instagram and stuff. Now he's banned from everything as far as I know. But he still has a huge presence online somehow. I see him on Reddit every day. He writes to Greta Thunberg, and I promise you this will get better. And out of the blue is like, I've got 33 cars, Bugattis, Ferraris, whatever. They all make carbon dioxide, and you're going to like it or not, whatever, right? He just out of the blue, he picks a fight with
a terribly worded tweet.
Really weird.
There was like
thing to do.
No reason for it, etc.
And also, I have to say, factually, and I what I've learned about this guy is that he's not fucking cool, but just on a strictly factual basis, because I am the car person. It is actually quite environmentally sound to buy 35 cars because you can only drive one at a time. So you're not inherently dirtier than someone who just buys, say, a single F-350 Super Duty and commutes to work in it.
See, that would be true.
He did call out their 8-liter and 6.5-liter motors and stuff. But anyway, so he picks a fight with Greta.
To do, but on a purely scientific level,
okay. So
are not making emissions.
I hear you. So Greta writes back, and she has a pretty good tweet. She's like, "Oh, tell me more about it. My email address is ihaveasmalldick@getalife.com." Something close to that.
It's smalldickenergy@getalife.com, which is a very well worded tweet. I mean, it's pretty good. Point Thunberg.
I can't tell if she obliterated him in this, or if this is my own bias and the internet's home court advantage that's saying hers is like way better.
I mean, they both look stupid.
The ratio ain't wrong. The ratio is pretty extraordinary on the Thunberg. I did see that.
Okay. Well, Tate claims
wins the ratio.
So give me the floor for a second. Andrew Tate makes this reply, which you're watching in his robe, and in it, he's saying Greta Thunberg has a small dick based on her email address, and he has these pizza boxes brought in, and you can see the Romanian pizza boxes. And being an asshole, he goes out of his way for some reason to be like, "Don't recycle those boxes," drawing attention to the pizza boxes. Anyway, the Romanian authorities see this, and they're like, "Fuck, Andrew Tate's in Romania? We've been meaning to arrest this guy on human trafficking and rape charges." And they've taken him. They pull him out, and they say, "We got you." And now he got thrown in jail for human trafficking and rape. I don't know where the rape is specifically. I know what he would do, according to the charges are. He would online sort of entice and seduce these women and say like make them think that there was a relationship possibility with Andrew Tate, this charming dude. And then when they got there, he would keep them locked into some apartment producing OnlyFans content, like against their will. These are the charges.
This is like an SVU epised, dude. This is like not real. Like, come on. Crazy.
And can you do it better?
Yeah.
So no, Andrew Tate says, "Hey, I wasn't thrown in jail for all this. I've been swatted." But and that's where I don't know where the truth is. It's all so current. The truth will come out tomorrow after the show or something. But yeah, apparently he's locked up for.
Was he on the lam, or was he in Romania because he like is a world hopper, like vacation guy?
I think that's where he primarily lives.
He's
Romania.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't
classy people.
Where's he from? Is he British?
Romania, I believe.
Oh, he's Romanian.
I was just going based on the accent.
My understanding was such. I'm not an expert or anything.
He's American and British. Okay.
Are there really women who said that they were like forcibly like held there against their will?
Yeah.
Specifically to make OnlyFans? Because I know there's the one girl who I know that she said that she was brought there for sex and then held there, but there's like a live stream video of that girl in particular like going out to get everybody pizzas and stuff, like during the live stream, like popping out and going to the end of the driveway to get pizzas and stuff. Like his end of the story on that one was she was saying some stuff so that her boyfriend wouldn't be jealous that she had flown to Romania with Andrew Tate.
So let me read this for a second. The brothers are accused
at least call this an unforced error.
So
at a minimum, let's just call this a fully unforced error.
So this is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
The brothers, is my mic on? The brothers are accused of luring women to lavish villas using what Dicott called the lover boy method. in which they struck up a relationship over social media before convincing the women to come to Romania to pursue a romantic relationship. Instead, they would allegedly keep the women in a small studio where they're forced to work as pornographic models for OnlyFans and other websites. The scheme unraveled when an American woman managed to send her location to her boyfriend. They alerted the U.S. Embassy that they were being held at the home without their consent. The cops raided the home, yada, yada, yada.
Have you been following the Diddy
I was
disaster?
just thinking of him.
I
I'll be
would
back in
love
a
to
second.
know
My fire
more
alarm's
about the
chirping.
Diddy thing. It
Yeah.
seems like in his crimes are implicated many people, politicians, celebrities. What's going to come out?
I don't know about that. I don't know. So he's one of those people who's got his picture taken with everybody. I saw him with the Clintons and with the Bushes and with Trump and with everybody in between. You know, he's a celebrity. He's a very, very famous celebrity. He's got pictures with everybody. That stuff doesn't say anything to me. But there's a quote from Denzel Washington where he was giving somebody some advice about these after parties and stuff and like award show parties. He's like, they're like, how do you stay out of trouble? How do you keep a clean record? How do you keep your nose out of the dirty stuff? And he's like, I leave 30 minutes before the devil gets there. And I think the devil he's talking about is Diddy, because I think it's a certain point in these parties. It sounds like Diddy would like drug you, and then I've heard such crazy stories. He was having these gay like sex workers have so much crazy like continuous sex, like this crazy marathon fuck fests that IVs would be given afterwards. Now, I think that's the average person not realizing that a lot of people after they party do IVs. Like it's not that expensive to get an IV after some serious partying. And I think some drugs, I've never done like MDMA or anything, but I know that stuff can really dehydrate you, or maybe you just forget to drink. But I know dehydration is an issue. But the allegations are wild. They have him in a terrifying facility. They have him in a facility that 3 different federal judges now refuse to send prisoners to.
Really?
They won't send you there to this holding facility in New York. From the outside, it reminds me a lot of where Andrew Tate was kept, in that the windows aren't windows. They're like, there's like metal over everything in a very like modern kind of like scary prison. They've recently had murders and stabbings. I don't know what it's called.
I just assume P. Diddy's getting some sort of privileged treatment.
He's begging to get out because of the inhuman like place he's in. He's offered his $46 million house and his fleet of jets as collateral if they'll let him go home. He said, there will be no women at my house except for the mothers of my children and my daughters. Like, please let me go back to one of my houses. And they're like, nah, we got you where you want. That's where we want you. Right there in that hellhole with 15 square feet.
Is he the guy who we saw beat up that woman in an elevator trying to escape?
Yeah, a long time ago. But she started it. She was kicking him and stuff, you know. Family Guy did a great bit on that. Family Guy did a great in the Family Guy bit. Peter's
that's the prison.
Yeah. That looks like a storage facility.
It is.
Well, I guess it is.
Looks like a hotel I'd stay at.
Yeah.
You'd show up there and be like, wow, Jackie Diddy is my roommate. Can you believe this? I don't know. He's been bringing up some troubling things. Man, so Diddy's here right now. He's really upset about it. I didn't know he offered all his money and shit as collateral. It's so hellish. Do you think he's going to get killed in there? Or do you think his fame outdoes like the sinister accusations? Because, usually a lot of sex crime people don't do too hot in prison.
I don't think he's in like a general pop scenario where that can probably happen. It seems like he's being held locked down in that little room, maybe with one other person. That's probably most of the day, probably like 20, 23 hours of the day.
As long as his roommate isn't that shredded pit bull owning ex-cop that was with Epstein. I bet he'll be okay.
I hope P. Diddy starts ratting. I want him to tell us everybody else who's into this wild stuff. Let us know who else is like drugging and raping women. Tell us.
Let's do an over and under on how many dildos were confiscated from Diddy's mansion. I know the number.
Oh, damn it.
Okay. You know the number? I'm going to guess it's not as high as you think. I'm going to say
go first.
23.
I'm going to say.
How many dildos did they find at Diddy's mansion?
He's looking at, I'm going to say 78. And we're not doing over his bust. We're doing closest.
It's
Yeah,
almost 800 dildos. It's 760 something dildos. Yeah, it was almost 800. 784. 784 is the number of dildos.
That's a flex by itself. Having a
There's a
house
great
so
meme
big
here.
you can
It's like-
hide 1,000 dildos and still have a classy house.
It's like 784 dildos have been taken from Diddy's house, and that's him.
That's
like,
enough for 392 women.
I
Dude,
think
his
that's
face
the
there,
meme, by
finding
the
out
way.
about the dildos being discovered, is George Bush reading to those kids. When he's
you know what it actually
told
is?
the
What
tower
that's
is
taken
falling.
from? So that's taken from a picture of him handling money at a basketball at an NBA game, and he's gotten change back from buying like some snacks, and there's some ones in there, and the meme was always, "What the fuck is this thing?" he doesn't even know what a $1 bill looks like because he's so rich. That was the meanest meme they used to make about Diddy, that he was so rich he didn't understand $1 bills. Now he has 784 dildo. Look, I ain't got 784. I may have like 30 or something, but 784 is wild.
I saw memes going around that he had like enough baby oil to like fill an Olympic pool. Or
It was,
something. Like,
it was
it's
so
wild
much
amount
baby
of
oil. It was like
Yeah.
way too much baby oil.
yeah, it's like this is gonna go bad before you can use it. How many of these are you using?
I don't think baby oil goes bad. I think that's maybe he's just buying in
I
bulk.
don't know.
'cause he knows
It's like
he's gonna-
honey. It lasts for
He buys it
thousands
in
of
bulk.
years.
You know, he's still thrifty. You know, he sees a mistaken listing on Amazon and he orders times 99. that's how you make savings.
Jesus Christ.
So what do you
Yeah.
think's going to come out? You think it's going to be a lot of actors, a lot of politicians, a lot of
no, nothing like that. Nothing.
I
like
thought
that.
all these people were at the parties that people are saying
So-
were all fucked up.
Yeah, but there's two parties at the party. You know how it is. Like there's the party
Yeah,
and then there's
I know
another
how it
party.
is. Say no more.
Come on, if you've been to a party, you know there's like multiple parties at the party. All right, maybe you haven't been to the
I have
party.
a feeling these
You've
parties
been-
are nothing like I've ever been to.
You've been to the school lunch table though, and you know there's like a table you want to sit at, and then there's a table you sit at, maybe, right? Like
Mhm.
there's an elite table of lunchroom goers up in Diddy's room getting railed out by two professional dick throwers, and Diddy's watching and he's recording, and that's Diddy's game. Diddy likes lots of weird sex, lots of gay sex, lots of straight sex. He likes forcing women to bang lots of his buddies. He likes it seems like he was forcing. That was the key thing. Like he's raping people. He likes drugging people for sure. He's like there's all these clips that come
Sounds
out
like he's
where-
worse than Cosby.
there's all these clips that come out where they're talking about what they'd put in the drink and how he'd have bottles of alcohol that he knew either weren't tainted or were like tea that he'd drink. And then the ladies would get like the special bottle where like there's something in there. There's like ecstasy in the vodka that he's pouring you. So maybe you only had a little to drink, but you're getting a lot of ecstasy or whatever. So he's drugging, raping both sexes, employing sex workers, putting on fuck shows and recording blackmail and holding it over people. He's all and
What people? Like,
you gotta take it back, Kyle. You're right. I know all about this.
oh yeah,
definitely
these are the normal part. You go to your friend's
Who's the black
barbecue,
rapper?
people get
This
black.
is what we do on our motorcycle.
Did you
ride.
just say who's the black rapper?
Well, there was more to come out of my mouth after that to qualify.
Will
Who's
Smith
the black
is the
rapper that they say Diddy was like Diddy's like boy or whatever? It's like I don't know. Like there is a guy that they talk about was like one of his, you know, he was fucking a rapper and like doing stuff to the rapper, and like you kind of had to be down with that if you wanted in his circle. You know, this guy had an MTV show back in the day called Making the Band, right? Where
Looks
he
like
forced all
Prince
these
Harry
kids.
is named in some things.
I mean,
Cuba
shit.
Gooding
Everybody,
Jr.'s getting named.
Harry
What's that?
Connick Jr.
Harry Connick Jr. Is he the singer?
The actor? Am I saying his name wrong?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes.
Not Snow Dogg.
Oh. Radio was there doing fucked
Radio-
up shit.
Radio was
People-
doing fucked up shit.
No one
Listen,
can hear
this is
you.
This is PKA. Don't
That
take
man
it to the
played Carl
bank.
Bush here.
He was pushing a
Remember
shopping cart full of dildos right
I'm looking
into
at this. Will Smith and Justin Bieber.
Jada was there for sure, though, right?
Yeah, remember just
He
like
had a weird
6 months
relationship
ago or
with
so,
Bieber.
people were showing the videos of Diddy with Bieber, like doing the weird hug where it looked like he was like ham-handedly doing like a wire search, like in Sopranos or something, and everyone was like, "What the fuck was going on with Diddy and Justin Bieber?"
I was okay with that. I thought what was going
Well,
on. Is
given
he was
what's coming out now, maybe there's something else going on there.
like, I bet they were both. Look, I bet he got pussy whether he drugged them or not. So, like, mate, I like to imagine that him and Bieber were just slaying some gash, on the side. Just get
Didn't they
down.
have Bieber like at a private party, just like him and Justin Bieber when he was like 14 or something?
He was a big celebrity. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, but like,
Great.
yeah.
Were you
What's your
thinking of
point?
Rick Ross or DJ Khaled, Kyle? Was it one of those?
Oh God,
I
nobody's
know
gonna
who they
fuck those two.
Okay.
DJ
Nobody's
Khaled,
want.
is he
I
that big
promise
fat
you,
guy?
nobody's wanting to get in DJ Khaled's booty.